What's up, my awesome YouTubers? Ryan1988 or Justin back here to do a video for you all. I hope you're all doing well out there. And today I thought I would talk about the latest horror movie to come out, and that is Shelby Oaks, which is directed by Chris Stuckman, a very well-known YouTuber here in the movie community. I remember Chris Stuckman from when he started back in 2009, 2010. We started around the same time. I started in 08, so he started a little bit after me. But, you know, he's one of the OGs, and I love seeing some OG YouTubers on here. There's still some YouTubers on here from back in the day, so it's great to see that. But what I love and what I'm extremely proud of for Chris Stuckman is the fact that he has went on this journey of starting off as a movie reviewer, always loving film and filmmaking, but now he has his first ever theatrical movie out. And I'm here to tell you right now, I really like Shelby Oaks. I think it's overall really good. And, you know, I wanted to really think about this for a while, like, you know, kind of, you know, think about my thoughts, what I wanted to talk about, you know, have it all soak in. Because I saw it Saturday the 25th. The movie came out on October 24th. I was the only one in the theater, but I was really happy that my movie theater got Shelby Oaks. Sometimes I don't get the movies I want to see, and sometimes they do. A majority of the time they do, but you know, smaller movies like this, sometimes I don't get them. And they did get Shelby Oaks, and so I saw Black Phone 2, and I saw Shelby Oaks that day, and so I want to talk about Shelby Oaks. Plot of the movie, it surrounds a character by the name of Mia, and back in 2008, her sister Riley Brennan and her paranormal crew disappeared during a YouTube video that they were doing. They were going on this haunting investigation, and they disappeared. Jump over 12 years later, and Mia gets this tape upon herself. I'm not going to say how. She watches the tape, and she finds out somewhat what happened to her sister. You know, this was footage that was never shown before, obviously, and no one else had seen it except for her, and, you know, the person or persons who had the tape prior. So that is the plot. You know, she goes on this investigation afterwards to find out what happened to her sister, to hopefully rescue her, and, you know, comes across, you know, eerie things, startling things, and, you know, she happens to go step upon what happens in the third act, which I don't want to give too much away of this movie if you haven't seen it. So, yeah, again, I really like Shelby Oaks. I think this is an overall really good movie. I almost want to say great film, but I do have my cons with it, and I'll talk about that in a minute. The pros, though, the actress who plays Mia in this movie, she does a great job. I really enjoyed her acting in the film and watching the character's development throughout the movie, her journey throughout the movie from, you know, trying to get the answers about her sister, coming across the tape, and then going on this journey after watching the tape. So I really enjoyed her performance. I think also Riley in this movie, the actress, she did a great job in the film. From what we saw of her, she wasn't in it a lot, but, you know, those 2008 YouTube video vibes were really there, and I love the fact that we had this throwback to that time, and if you were on YouTube during that time, you remember, what it looked like, what the format looked like. It's evolved into so much more now compared to what it was in the early days of YouTube. And so it was cool to see some of the stuff, like the 5 star, instead of the thumbs up, thumbs down, you had the stars and you rated the video by stars. Back then you had a way you could message YouTubers. So it was really cool to see, what YouTube looked like back then. And I was a part of that. And I think that's just really cool that we got it. So jumping into the vibe and the atmosphere and the setting of it, I really loved it. I love a great setting in a movie. And this has such a good fall vibe to it. I'm pretty sure it takes place in the fall. Like, it has this cold atmosphere to it. But, it was the perfect time to release this movie, because at least where I am right now, it feels like fall, and it is obviously fall, but it feels like it. Sometimes we jump into 2 seasons, summer and winter, and right now it's perfect fall. And so watching the movie, I was like, this is just a great time to release it. So I really enjoyed the setting and the atmosphere of this. Scares wise, it's not super scary, but there are a few moments throughout the movie that I think are eerie. There's a shot in the trailer where our main character Mia is in a prison. It's an abandoned prison, a haunted prison, where Riley and her friends went back in 2008. And there's a couple good eerie moments during that scene with Mia, and I really loved that scene in the film. Found footage, I'm a big fan of the found footage format, from Blair Witch Project to Ghost Watch to Paranormal Activity, so on and so on. I am a big fan of that genre. Some are better than others, but, I will always watch a found footage movie and, see if it's good or not. And I really enjoyed the found footage part of this film. It does go away kind of in the third act of the movie, but the found footage that we did get was great. Chris Stuckman as a director, I think he directed this movie really well. Some great shots in this movie. Overall, really happy with it. I know the movie had a low budget and then it got a little bit more money, but it doesn't feel low budget. I felt like this movie had a good budget to it. It looked like it did, and I never, had the feeling of, oh, this is a low budget movie. So, and then going on to the story, and this kind of is where I go into my cons. So, I really enjoyed a lot of the mystery of this movie. The idea of Riley Brennan disappearing, her friends disappearing, and her, Riley's sister Mia then going on this journey to find out what happened to her sister. I really enjoy the mystery of it, and I love, again, the found footage stuff. Where the movie falls for me is probably the last 10 minutes of the movie. I'd probably say the last 20 minutes of the film, without giving too much away. The vibe changed. I wasn't sure how I felt about it. I'm still not sure how I feel about it. I think the movie was stronger when it was a mystery and when you had the found footage stuff. And then the last 20 minutes, right when Mia jumps into or enters the town of Shelby Oaks, is when the movie kind of falls for me. And then you get the last 10 minutes of the movie, which aren't bad. I don't think it's necessarily bad, but it takes away the mystery of the rest of the film. And again, I love a good found footage movie, and I love a mystery. And I wish it would have just kind of left things open for the audience to imagine what happened, or a what if scenario, not revealing too much, which this movie does at the end of it. And again, it took away from the rest of the movie for me. So not necessarily bad, but not great. Not a great ending to the movie. But overall, very pleased with it. Again, I really like this movie. It's getting mixed reviews right now. I've not watched a lot of videos on people's review of Shelby Oaks except for a few. I know that the movie community is very divided right now though on this movie. Because Chris Stuckman is a YouTuber and now he's directing a movie and people are divided with that. I don't know the full thing. I've just heard little things here and there. Coming from somebody who just loves YouTube and who started in the early days of YouTube with Chris Stuckman, it would never, my opinion is authentic, and it would never, go by, oh, it's because, I've been a fan of Chris Stuckman for a long time. No. I am going to review a movie, and I'm going to be honest with you on my take on a film. I also the movies that I think are bad films, I don't really like talking about them. That's something that I kind of want to jump in a little bit. People assume that I love everything, and that's not the case. There are movies that I've talked about that I think are overrated and that are just not for me. Hot take. I'm not the biggest A24 fan for horror movies or just the company in general. I have my favorites, obviously, but movies like Hereditary, not the biggest fan of that one. It's okay. It's a bit hyped up for me, though. The Babadook, not a great movie. Those are just movies I think about right now. Malignant, I love James Wan, but not the biggest fan of that. So, when people like to say, oh, I love every movie, that's not the case. I'm going to give you my authentic review on a film, and I'm going to be truthful about the movie. And if my opinion changes on a movie, I'm going to tell you my opinion changed on a movie. So just want to throw that at the end of this. Again, I know as far as this movie goes and Chris Stuckman goes, apparently the movie community is very divided right now. And again, I've heard a little bit of what's going on, but I don't love Shelby Oaks. I do really like it, and it will go in my collection when the movie comes out on Blu-ray or 4K. I'll probably just pick it up on Blu-ray, but I will buy this movie, and I will support it, and I'm glad I got to see it in theaters. I think that the theatrical vibe was so cool, and again, I'm just really happy to see one of our fellow YouTubers now go into filmmaking and have a film out in theaters. So I'm really happy with the film overall. Again, I think the first and second act are the best. I love the filmmaker. I love the found footage vibe. I think the acting overall is really good. Mia, the actress, does a great job. Chris Stuckman did a solid job directing this movie. Where it faults is, some of the writing, some of the screenplay, or some of the story. So that is going to be my review of Shelby Oaks. I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know what you think of the movie. Are you divided on it? Do you like it? Do you not like it? If you don't like it, that's totally fine. We all don't have to have the same opinions, but I'll say this: let's love and respect each other, and let's respect Chris Stuckman for doing this, because I love filmmaking. I love acting in movies, or I love people acting in movies. I love everything about film and the filmmaking behind the scenes of it. And so it's awesome that we have a YouTuber, again, who's still making YouTube videos, have his first movie out there in theaters. So I recommend seeing Shelby Oaks. Give your opinion on it. Let me know what you think of it. If you haven't seen it yet, you can come back to this video after you watch it, and you can tell me what you think of it then. So, but definitely check out Shelby Oaks. I hope you're all doing well. As always, you all are awesome. You all rock. Aim with a positive, out with the negative, and I'll talk to you later. Bye, everybody.